Hi everybody, Lydia here with Build Show Network, and we're going to talk about power sanders today. So they've really gotten popular and they've come a long way in the past couple years. This is the newest one from Festool. This is the Planex 2 as most people call it. This guy has a built-in light, all sorts of different suction controls. It's just awesome. So I'm actually going to put this one down and we're going to talk about the Makita first because these are the two that I have and that we use. All right, so first up is the Makita. This one is cordless, unlike the Festool, which is corded. This one is completely cordless. So you can run this with a battery. I've got a big Makita battery on here. They run about 40 to 45 minutes per charge. So if you do have a supercharger, you can get 2 batteries charging and then you can kind of just roll through your batteries. It does have a really nice articulating head here. You can go a bunch of different ways. You can move this little guide around depending on what you're doing and how you want to be sanding, and it has little brushes here to help, and then little wheels to guide it in and around the angles and other things that you're doing. It has a very thick pad, which is really, really nice with the sander. So as you can tell, it's about 1/2 inch thick. It's super squishy. So when we have used this, we get a very nice finish with it because that pad is so nice. You're not having the sander dig in and then make a bunch of problems. You do need to be running special paper with these sanders. As you can tell, this one has a bunch of holes. This is actually a Festool paper that we run on the Makita. But the whole purpose of these sanders is to run with a vac. The Makita you can run with or without a vac. It really depends on how you want your dust control. We choose to run without a vac on this. The whole reason we have the cordless and we have the battery power is because we want to be moving. We're also in new residential construction, so dust is dust. It really doesn't matter. We have to sweep it or clean it up anyways. So this guy we choose to run without a vac. It doesn't suction to the wall like the Planex, which we'll get into in a minute. So this guy is just pure speed for us. You just throw the battery on and you run with it. It is adjustable. Let me see, there we go. So you can adjust this out or in, depending on what you're working on. They do also have a harness for your hip that you can put this into. They also have a cordless vacuum that goes with this, and it is Bluetooth chip enabled, so you can have them hooked up together. So the minute this turns on, your vac will turn on, which is pretty cool. The vac that you run with this doesn't have the suction that the Festool vac has. It does have pretty significant dust control, but if you're looking and that's what your ultimate end goal is, you're gonna wanna go with the Festool system. This guy is fast, but it's a little bit dustier, doesn't have quite the suction control and things that the Festool does. But this guy, I think, is about $650. It does come with a bag that you can put it in. It's affordable. So compared to the Festool setup, you're looking at, $2,000 to $3,000. This guy, you're looking at $650. So that is something to keep in mind. Also depends on what you're working on and what you're looking for. If you're really looking for dust control, then this one's probably not going to be the one for you. But if you're looking for affordability and you're looking for something that is battery powered and you're not having to lug a vacuum around with, this guy's going to be your choice. So pretty cool little thing. We actually use this quite a bit. So your trigger's here. And it rotates the sander. And then you have your speed adjustments here. So you can do 3, all the way up to 5. Well, 3 is the middle. There's 5. We don't run it on 5. You don't want to run it on 5. Well, depends on what you're doing, but it's going to sand down your stuff real fast. Here's 1. And 1 is where I recommend you start. If you are new to power sanders or you have not used one, you'll sand your work down super fast. So, when we first got this, we started at about a 1 or a 2, real soft paper. And then we've gradually worked up to like a 3 or a 4 because we've gotten the feel for it and how it works. But even then, we're still running real soft paper, about 320, because we're using +3, we're using soft joint compounds. So if we're running something real gritty, like like a 150 on there, it's gonna get down super fast. But if you're, removing popcorn, trying to sand down texture, you can throw a real gritty paper on there and just kind of fly through it, put on that 5, and your texture is going to be gone super fast. So it's another place where these really shine is dust control and then texture removal. the Makita or the Planex will get that texture off for you. It just really depends on what kind of a system you want to be running. So let's go ahead and check out the Festool Planex. So I finally got this back from my dad. He pretty much stole it from me for like a year, and he's already asked me when he's going to get it back. So he is a big fan of this system and this machine. He does a lot of remodels. He does a lot of occupied spaces, and he just has nothing but good things to say about it. So first things first, there are some major differences with this. This whole system is corded, so you are going to need to be running extension cords. You do have to have power on site. Plugs in down here, and then you have your hose. This one, you can run with or without a vac, but I really highly recommend getting the vac set up, because the whole point of what makes this system so incredibly good is the dust control that Festool and the vacuum have. Everything together. The Planex with the big vacuum, you have little to no dust. It's actually pretty phenomenal. So when we're looking at the head here, this one has a bunch of holes. We also have pads on here. So here's the paper, and then we've got a soft pad on here, which I do recommend getting. It will dig in if you don't have a pad on it. So you do need some of that cushion, and you need some of that adjustment there. You can stack pads too. We've had it stacked with 2 pads to add a little bit of softness, but you do need a little bit of cushion there. And then, you just kind of line up your holes, and then what this does is sucks the dust through here into that and then into the vacuum. So what's cool about these ones is with the vacuum, you can essentially suction this to the ceiling. The vacuum is so strong, the sander will hold itself up and suction. So when you're looking at a lot of overhead work, you are removing popcorn, you're trying to sand down orange peel, whatever you got going on, this guy will suction to the lid for you. It's not light, neither of these sanders are light, so that's also something to keep in mind. Compared to, stick sanding, these guys are way heavier, but they also speed things up because they're doing all of the sanding for you. You essentially just have to hold it. The Planex also has a couple different controls. They have a suction control here, and then they've got a speed control here, and then they also have a suction control on the vacuum. So the vacuum is pretty impressive. It has a whole kind of self-cleaning tech in there. So if you're running it and it sounds like you killed it, you didn't. It's just the filter cleaning itself. It does like a loud bang, and it will kind of clean out that filter for you. We run bags with these. We always kind of have some bags on hand, but the whole system's pretty cool. So Festool, if you've got the money and you're working in occupied spaces, this one's definitely going to be your go-to. And for texture removal, oh yeah, and the light in there. So this one's equipped with LED lights inside. So when you're sanding, it's throwing the light up and down on the wall so you can kind of see what's going on. So let's go ahead and throw this guy on the wall and have a little spin. So here's kind of the setup. Here's the back. It's a CT36 EAC. We've got a bunch of different controls there that control your suction. And then we also have suction controls on the Planex itself. And then you can also turn on or off the light here. So light off, light on, kind of depending what you want. Power is here. And then, where's our speed? There it is. And then speed's over here. You can also put extra handles on this. Comes with a couple different handles. You can add a bunch of different extensions onto this. It's just on lock and lock right there. And then you can just slide it off and then put the extensions in there. See? Oh, there it did. So I'm going to ruin the paper on the board. There we go. Woo! Then we'll throw it over there. Well, that's pretty much the Planex for you. As you can see, it pretty much suctioned up there. I was barely holding it. Kind of let it go for a second, but Of course, you can get it dialed in and dialed down. There's like a bazillion settings with the vacuum, with how it's holding, how it's suctioning. It's just a really cool piece of machinery. It is a lot more than the Makita, and the Makita is, you know, $650 for the setup. This guy, you're looking at a couple grand. So do keep that in mind, but occupied spaces, stuff you're working on where you really need to be dust free, it's gonna be awesome. So, and it is a random orbit. And then I believe the Makita is just a regular orbit sander, but this guy's a completely random orbit sander. So that's kind of it for power sanders. They're fun. I think they've really gotten really popular. Just be careful you don't oversand. Like when I went over there, I turned that speed down and then I also turned the suction down. So I had a little more control and freedom to be moving it without trying to like dig in and take too much off. So have fun with these. They're awesome. They're just super cool. You can do a lot of fun stuff with them. Great for texture removal. So anyway, that's it for me this week. Make sure you check me out on socials, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. That's the one. Anyways, have a great day, guys, and I'll see you next time.